The Story of Mermaid Elmora. There once was a mermaid who throughout her life tried to search for others like her, but only received strife. She tried to interest and educate people on all things mer, but usually the same thing happened, which made her dreams of finding merfolk blur. One day, while on her shell phone, she came across mermaid tales. While very interested and Christmas coming up, she hoped she could get one in the mail. Her dad said yes, as long as it does not cost too much. She searched until she found one with just the right touch. She found it on AliExpress. Unaware it was stolen art, she thought it would impress. Despite years of being unsuccessful, she always held hope. She then found some professional merfolk. That gave her no excuse to mope. These mers existed all along and were there for her to prove to others that for believing in mermaids, she was not wrong. Unfortunately, many of these mers were overseas, but one mermaid, Mermaid Shelley, was not, and she reached out to her through her shell phone with ease. She was ecstatic to receive a reply, and even more to learn that there were other mers having a small gathering nearby, and she was invited to drop by. She was extremely nervous, but to miss out would have been a disservice. She packed her new tale and took a supportive friend, who by the way today is known as Mermaid Wren. They arrived at Enfield Pool, one of few that allows mers, how cruel, where she could barely believe her eyes, for what she wished for so long to be true. They met 4 mermaids with tales of pink, purple, and blue. Among these mers was Myrna Cressa. However, from that day on, to the mer of this story, she is her adopted mer mum. What? Do you think that is strange? Well, this mer mum made sure that she was properly trained, as she was not yet aware. Only strong, confident swimmers should wear tails, as they come with risks to bear. This mer was so happy to meet others like her. She practiced and practiced whenever she could. She practiced with Myrna Cressa and Wren whenever they would. After some time, she learnt of an event mermeet, which happened to be at Shell Harbour, which was close to a supportive sailor, and she did love his laughter. She was so excited for this mermaid, however, she could not attend, as she had the sniffles, and with COVID around, refused to spread that trend. Several months passed, and it was coming to summer, when Myrna Cressa decided another mermeet would help line up 2020, which was a bit of a bummer. Mermaid Wren and her were excited to help Myrna Cressa with the manly mermeet deets. Cressa even printed out mermaid bingo sheets. When the mermeet weekend struck, in terms of weather, the mers were in luck. There are few words that can describe what happened next, but merfolk from all over gathered, and it was like opening a treasure chest. Not with gold or jewels, but something much more. Friendly merfolk that lifted each other up, willing to help each other soar. Sparks of friendship flew, and at the same time, the pod grew. It was an amazing weekend, and now Cressa, Wren, and herself have more merfolk at regular events. Some merfolk families even offer to bring their handy tents. For this mer, life could not get much better. Little did she know another touch of heaven would get her. A tail brand named Finfolk was launching a new line. She had fallen in love with this brand 2 years prior, and her alley tail was actually their design. She carried a bit of guilt for committing this alley tail crime, and watched their launches time after time. Yet just after Mermy, another one dropped. It was love at first sight when she saw the Midnight Tide Manowar Carrier collab. Time could have stopped. Some of the new pod members and her woke up at 3 a.m. for the drop, and managed to snag their dream tails with matching tops. The pod are in talks of many great new things, such as the beginning of Hire a Mermaid and the mer opportunities it brings. The mer of this story is so glad to have found this second family, where being together feels natural, and that is a rarity. She looks forward to what the pod will achieve, meeting more mers and encouraging others to believe. This was a longer story than expected, but there is a moral which hopefully you have detected. Stay true to yourself even when you feel like you do not belong, for there are others out there, and to meet you is also what they long.